lieutenants coming in behind this F. And they just finished their 100th mission. Actually, they got cycled through to go back up to rescue one of our other pilots that was shot down earlier. So they've just got 101 missions. And we're real proud of them because, first of all, not many lieutenants fly the 105. And secondly, to get 100 missions in it is outstanding, we think. So we're going to meet them here at the end of the runway and take them on up to the parking space, give them a bottle of champagne, and I imagine they're three happy boys.
When all is said and done, you really cannot adequately relate a war. War is too potent, too personal. War is living and laughing and crying and dying. It has always been the man who fights who can best report a war, if he will. True, his story may be confused, sometimes harsh, sometimes boisterously non-committal, but it is real. This is one segment, one small insight into our present war. This is the 105 story. The story of fighter-bomber pilots flying daily over the armed camp of North Vietnam during the month of November 1966. These are the men of the 388 Tactical Fighter Wing, and in particular, the men of the 421st, the Fighting Cavalier Squadron.
He says, well, what are they doing? He says, well, how do I tell if they're friendly? He says, well, if they come up with their hands over their heads, they'll be friendly. He says, no, one of these guys has got a gun.
The guy said, well, how far are you from them? He said, well, standing right here by me. And he said, well, it must be friendly.
How's it feel to have 100?
I thought I was going to kill myself on initial, you know the truth. Jeez.
FOD.
They didn't know where he was for a while. And then they saw a lone D up there, and he said, all right, that's two, and he just lost the radio.
I'm going to be an instructor pilot. Where? T-38, Williams Air Force Base, Arizona. I figure I'll arrive there, and I'll be real quiet, calm, and all that, and I'll go in, and all the students will nudge each other, and when they meet me, and I'll be their instructor, and they'll fly with me, and they'll nudge each other and say, what did Lieutenant Rasmus do before he came here? And it'll be all quiet, no one will know until finally there'll be graduation, and we'll show up in mess dress, and there I'll be with my air medals and my DFCs and my Silver Star and my Commendation Medal and my Vietnam Service Medal and all this stuff all the way across, and I'll walk in with a slight limp, and they'll say, tell me about it. And I'll say, it was nothing. It was nothing. But then for a week after, every time I crawl in the airplane, as I get in, I'll pull my leg in and I'll wince a little, and I'll say, what is it? And I'll say, oh, it's just an old war injury.
45, 44. Right. 45, 44, 14.
How'd the mission go? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Get another one. How many's that?
Well, it's 42, 43 now.
Okay.
Major height. One mission, one counter, one for the month. Finally made the board. 99 hard ones to go.
I'll get 43 this afternoon. I got to put them on my hand for number 90.
I've already got it.
So you're going to get two today, huh?
One more, I'll be able to make a big one. One more, you'll be able to hold red. He's been here about 6 months. It averages about 6 months for the tour. You're able to get 300 in about that much time. Really took his R&R to go down and get the Christmas shopping done before he goes back. No, you really can't blame him. No, sir, I can't find any of them. We have 4 people, looks like should finish up by the end of this month. They should be home with their families for Christmas.
Well, think you're going to make it home for Christmas?
Yeah. 67.
Number 90.
This wing, even though we're roughly 100 miles from any sort of civilization, morale is high here. I've noticed that. The men know what they're doing and why they're here.
Well, if we still have to be over here, I'll come right back. And no ain't interested in me.
You come right back and do another hitch.
You bet I will. Well, I feel we have a reason to be here. As you read Consequence in Asia, I feel that we didn't just take some measures to stop it here. We may be fighting in our backyard. Enjoy some of the things I've been over here for, such as the American way of life.
I served in World War II in the Southwest Pacific. Served during Korea.
Well, when I leave here, I still have some time to do the service.
Gonna make it a career?
Probably. We don't have a morale problem. Here we sit out here in the middle of a strange country and away from everything that's familiar to us. And I'm not speaking of pilots now, I'm talking to the maintenance people. But there is no morale problem. Of course, the pilots couldn't have a morale problem. There's always something going. There's always something going. There's never a dull moment. If there is a factor involved with a morale problem, it's fatigue.
Yes, I personally try to discourage it. Man has put in 100 missions over North Vietnam to go home, get a rest, and then come back. However, I have one pilot here that just insisted on taking another 100, and he's here. His name is Lieutenant Victor.
Yeah, I want to come back down. How come you get to stay here?
Hey, worked hard. You could have stayed here with me.
Yeah, Mommy wouldn't have had any part to do with that.
Yeah, okay. There's the deal. You know, you're married. And let's face it. You know, if you like somebody well enough to be married with them, God, you don't want to be away from them for a year, or 8 months, or anything like that. How are you going to explain to a wife that you put in for a concurrent tour? You know that you're going to take flying over her. It wouldn't happen. Like me.
What's that got to do with you?
Nah, that's why I'm sticking around. You know, I'm a bachelor. I got nothing going for me back in the States, and the flying's good. You don't have all the little nitpicking rules and regulations that you have to put up with in the States.
Which we did 2 months ago.
Yeah. It's still a lot better than it is back there now. But I just, you know, I enjoy it. And it's the kind of deal like everybody says, yeah, I'm waving a flag, but I'm not. But at the same time, you know, where are you gonna stop it at? You know, where's Connie? Is you gonna wait till her in the Philippines or in Australia or San Francisco or Des Moines, Iowa? You know, you just stop it here or wait till somewhere later on. I don't think most of the people think about that. They're like me, you know, what happens, you know, if I get shot down. Too mean, they'll never get me anyway.
Hey, at least you were pretty mean till you shaved your mustache.
Yeah. I couldn't stand that anymore.
Our bombing objectives, I believe, can be very distinctly divided into 2 phases. Our interdiction program conducted in the southern portion of North Vietnam in an attempt to deny movement of the enemy into South Vietnam, and our strategic, if you will, objectives in the northern portion of North Vietnam in terms of attacking principal lines of communications, the Northeast and the Northwest railroads, which comprise the 2 most major railroads in North Vietnam, also POL installations and other military supply and storage areas located in the delta regions of North Vietnam.
I just spared this flight here that's getting ready the big gaggle to take off. We've got over 50 airplanes involved in this strike force, and it was going to be a big raid up near the Hanoi area, but the weather's bad. Now they're going to various other areas. A spares job. For every 4 airplanes we launch one spare off the end of the runway. In case one of the airplanes that we're having trouble with, they can fill in any 4 positions, any one of the 4 positions. He's usually a leader, so in case the leader aborts, he can fill in that spot. You can see this flight taking off now, and the airplane standing by is the spare. He'll be coming back up like me probably pretty soon. Spare is not a bad job because you do launch quite a bit of the time. We like to fly and fight before. That's why we have a spare out there, because if we didn't, we'd never get another airplane up in time.
About 250 or so. God, my fanny's tired.
Fanny's where?
I can see a flag on it, sir. When I rolled in, I thought I saw something funny down there. I didn't see it. You didn't bother to tell you we didn't. You didn't? I didn't? No. I saw a nice big bridge there. 2%. I was carrying about 2% back. Yeah, when that guy kept calling Mix, and we hadn't caught up with that flight in front of us yet then, and I'm still going full blow rate about 620 degrees. Yeah. This is not the answer.
Don't worry, I was watching here at 6 o'clock.
Thanks a lot.
I call you if anybody came.
I was watching it too.
Well, that's when I was on my run, that's where I saw all the sparking coming from. All those bright flashes were coming from right around where you dropped your bombs. So we came right in through this area right in here. We're at Route 6. That's the real way. Well, where were we when where was that flight that was calling out all the MiG? That wasn't the flight that was calling the MiG. That was some guy. That's the 121 that sits out over the creek.
There was somebody up there saying, drop, along that road to this side or the other. Some guy was saying, there's a single over there. There goes this and that and the other.
Yeah, but they're all identified as fragments. I saw one. Yeah. There was a gaggle of airplanes up in there, I'll tell you. Correct. They were all.
It sounded to me like before we got there that some guys actually saw them. They were calling them out.
We have 4 squadrons in it. They are all located up here in the, I'll call the quadrangle. The 469th here on your right, Fighting Bulls. To the left here, the 421st the 34th, and the 13th.
Spot 26. Aircraft 148 marks the beginning of the 421st Tactical Fighter Squadron area, which I spend most of my time. They have 20 aircraft assigned to the outfit. As you can see, they're all painted up in different ways. The primary identification feature is the red GCA deflector on the nose gear strut. As a matter of the 105 and my particular acquaintance with the doggone thing, first associations, I guess, from a number of years back, I could care less about the airplane. I didn't think it was ever made to fly, and it certainly, from a maintenance standpoint, wasn't very reliable. Southeast Asia has changed my mind.
On the left here is age. That's ground support equipment. We have about 300 pieces of it here, and it's worth $6 million. The 105 is a very complicated weapon system. It's got radar, gun sights, electronics, all sorts of complicated electronic equipment in it. And this equipment here supports the operation of the 105. This is thinking back at the complication of this weapon system. You like to know that it takes 40 man-hours of maintenance people to support 1 hour of this airplane in the air. That's how complicated it is. However, it's the best airplane in the Air Force over here today to do the job.
This flight line at night is a pretty active place. There's more work done at night, actually, than there is in the daytime, because the daytime is completely taken off with launching and recovering airplanes. We don't have much time for anything else. Plus, there's a turnaround. There's a lot of bomb loading for the second go around noon, but nothing like at night. You know, put it on one airplane, it doesn't come to commission, you have to take it off and put it on another one. It's pretty frustrating. They get it done somehow. I don't know how, but they do. We have a remarkable delivery rate here. I can't remember the last time I got a maintenance non-delivery. We're always getting up. They do a real bang-up job, as a matter of fact.
What is that? Is that a new grunt we have in the squadron?
Raj. They said sport shirts, not sporty shirts.
Over there, probably. In your box?
You know what? Oh, thank you. Oh, I'll be darned. No wonder I didn't get no mail. I'll probably go around here second place entry.
Who's that entry?
My sister. Oh. You never write it unless I go to combat. I would do that.
Make sure I no care. My love waits there. In San Francisco, beyond the blue and windy sea, when I come home to you, San Francisco.
remembers most, that's where the adrenaline starts to pump. The airplane's working all right. You got to the tanker, and it accepted the gas. That means you're going. That's your last chance. The first flight goes through the tanker, and you stay with the tanker. There'll be 4 flights on the tanker. And everybody will go through the tanker and then fill up. It takes 6 to 8 hours of time. And you stay there. And you stay in a safer area. After everybody gets full, you extend. And you head up to your drop-off point. And en route from the anchor to the drop-off point, you go through a top-out. And it takes 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 pounds. The point is that you can get 4 airplanes through a top-off just in nothing. It takes a couple of minutes per airplane. Whereas for the original big refueling, why, it takes quite some time. So consequently, if you put 4 flights on the tanker and extend immediately, you get to the drop-off point where the tanker has to turn back before you get your strike flight full. Plus, the other added advantage is that everybody leaves full, or close to full.
A lot of our mission is to observe what's going on the ground, what they're moving, where they're moving it to, how their bridges, what kind of condition they're in, this sort of thing. So we do need a lot of area that cloud cover isn't over the target area. And up north, where the SAM environment is heavy, you can't operate in say around cumulus buildups where you're going around the clouds because the SAM will come right straight through them and hit you. Incidentally, the airplanes we have lost to SAMs have been in these conditions. So we have to avoid them.
Well, maybe 150. I still had line speed, though. That's surprising. I got water right away. I had all the time, so... Yeah, I had line speed plus... Do you remember what the weather was when we went into the tops of it? Let's see, we were at 14. About 10,000. Yeah, we went through a layer at 10,000, and then it was about from 10 to 9, and then from 9 to the ground in areas it was clear, but there was a scattered layer in there about 5 or 6.
We had 3 on there yesterday. This is how many? This is 24. Sorry, we lost 2 today. Okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 is 25. Okay. Now this is a CBU flight. This is what's the second flight? Loaded with tomorrow.
Spot still tagging.
And then drive up there slow so you hit the red. I mean, so you can hit the TOT now. We hit the red and the Y, everything, so we're going to hit right on down here at TOT. Everything worked out perfect except the weather.
The weather tomorrow indicates a small high pressure area centered just about over Hanoi, which should make for fairly good weather except for restricted visibilities and haze.
The crutch of this one is going to be the weather on Fed Ridge tomorrow, the last 5 minutes into the target.
Just that weather just to the northwest and west is going to be the real critical area.
Well, we'll do it the same way.
Yeah, if everything works the same way tomorrow, we'll get it. If the weather breaks, you know. Then we'll wait till it does.
Sir, tomorrow's target is the Yen Ben Railroad. It's the largest railroad in all of North Vietnam. Its function is to control all the traffic coming in from the Northeast Railroad and the Northwest Railroad into Hanoi. It then controls all traffic going south. It's located 5 nautical miles north of Hanoi. Its defenses include a heavy concentration of AAA, and there are 26 known SAM sites in the area.
Roscoe was brought here by a pilot from Kadena, who was temporarily assigned to the wing. When the pilot was shot down up north, Roscoe sort of became everybody's dog, the only dog allowed on base. Now Roscoe's a free agent and goes everywhere, sort of a tramp with a big heart. But lots of guys, for instance, don't feel right unless he's sitting there in a commander's chair during the mission briefing. They say if he sleeps, it's going to be an easy mission. If his ears perk up, watch out.
The winds there from the surface to 5,000 feet along the coast are going to run about 25 knots out of the northeast. Did have an aircraft report right over the mountain there, he said this morning, just about at Magia Pass at 5,000 feet, he had a wind of 030 at 40 knots.
Nobody dare say anything against one of that. And then you hear stories and wild tales and so forth, and boy, I've learned to love this old bird.
It really does the job. And there's not another airplane that we've got that can do what this one will. They just use as much as they can be used, and very successfully. Very successfully. The pilots love the airplane. They love the speed and the power. And it'll get there and get you out.
We hear an awful lot about surface-to-air missiles. They're called SAMs, or referred to as SA-2s. This is a picture of an SA-2 site situated in the immediate Hanoi area. A close-up of this particular target would look something like this. Very clearly, you can observe the presence of SA-2 missiles. And in this area, we find the radar van which controls the firing of the missiles and also tracks the aircraft along with providing guidance to the SA-2 missile. Our pilots are constantly faced in flying into North Vietnam with missile firings along with extremely heavy anti-aircraft.
I kind of call it the dry throat mission myself. Usually I come outbound from the target and I'm just kind of sucking that water bottle dry throat.
But the only thing I can really say about the Hanoi area is about the time you start coming off the tanker on the way up there, you begin getting butterflies in your stomach, naturally, and then you begin settling down to the task at hand of navigating and finding your way up there, and then once you arrive in the area, you're generally pretty busy, and although at times you're pretty scared when you have to roll in on something up there, especially when you look down and you see nothing but a black cloud or a white cloud down below you. It's about as scary a mission as I've ever been on. I think it tries you to just about the maximum on the missions.
If you can get between a ridge between you and that radar site, they can't guide a missile at you. It's just when you get down in the Delta in the flatlands, that 30-mile ring around the city of Hanoi is a bear. Because it's flat, you have no protection, and I don't know how true it is, but they say it's the most heavily defended place in the history of aerial warfare. I've been there and I believe it.
Everybody wear your flak belts today, guys. Doesn't have one. Your flak? Well, that warns it off. Everybody wear your flak magnets. How come no matter how much in a rush, I'm always the last guy? You don't want to go. Shows some kind of reluctance. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. You got those flags you're going to tie between the wings? Or one on each? Yes, sir. We're going to put watch in the morning now.
Now, first of all, we have in our desk is the radio, which is the most important item we have. Our second item, I would say, is flares. The third is your weapon. You have the compass and the mirror for signaling and find direction. The most important one, upon bailout, is the beeper.
I hear yours, too.
Yeah. Who did that?
How many bombs we got? Oh, yeah. We must have 20 more, or 30 bombs, haven't we? Who belongs to this one? 148. That's one. 148. Don't kick my first out. Okay, I won't kick your first. We're going way up. Way up north.
82 is south of you, just about the second river. I have 4,500 feet.
All right, Roger. I'm going to hold 240 here till we get to red. I'm just crossing the river now, Phil.
Red river?
Right.
Eagle 4, check.
Eagle flag, a lot of flag guys off that pistol sight. Speed's off right.
Automatic weapon, right in there, quick.
Steel, I have no contact. This is leading. I'm about 35 miles from our turn point. Roger, so am I. Okay, Steel lead's going to start a left turn and come over here just a little bit. We're getting a little action right below me. Being a 3, we get close to the turn point. Roger, I'm turning right now. Steel. Yeah. Going at 5.
And we got a bogey low at 2.
Who was that for, Eagle?
Clem.
Well, there's a right something. I think it's going back this way and it's right south. Okay, Detroit, there's a mate turning south there.
Roger, I'm going in back off right. I see him loud and clear.
Detroit, they got mates right under us, right under us.
Roger, let's go get him.
I'm right over the target right now. I've got a stubby green right in front of him. Mixing it up with 3, 4 mates. Okay, I'll be back. Let's go back, Detroit.
Roger, the 2 stringers look like 105s out at 9 o'clock high, no sweat. Okay, this is Banjo. Got a contact down in the target area.
Pull up about 10 degrees and try to point.
Let me see. Get me lined up.
Okay, keep pointing left.
Okay.
Now, a little out now. He's down. He's pumped. He's going to get strong here in a minute.
Okay, I got him there.
As he's going to let it, try to drop the line. Down. Run! Take it down! Take it down! Run!
This is Banjo. We just got a launch. Take it down, troops. Which way now, then? 11 o'clock.
So get the launch. 11 o'clock.
We can take it down. Roger, Banjo. Take it down. We got a launch. I see them coming off the pad at 12 o'clock. I think we're all right for the time being. Pretty well, looks good.
Okay, Detroit, let's get out of here to the southwest. Give me your direction and altitude. Roger, I'm going 240, right on the deck. Oh, tonight and so far they'll be singing. In the States it has always been fun. And we'll sail far fields of the nation. And we'll bring you on number 1.
I say something, Mr. Magoo?
There are three of them. They're shooting at us, too.
Well, sit right up on that hill, right from the left side of the... Well, if you'd have passed through the top of that hill, you'd have nailed them.
You know, when you said let them go, I just pushed, and then I looked out and I said, oh, gee, that was too high. It's about 6,500 feet. I had 55 or something set on the tapes. I was going to be shorter than hell.
Well, I didn't mean go ahead and push. I meant, you know, you just take that hill on your left right there and hit that one.
All right.
So, oh, there's another one out of the way.
Got another one, that's it. Yes, indeed. 51. 51 now. Kind of look at that.
You know, part of the problem is everybody sits around and they go up and they hit this little fuel oil dump and that fuel oil dump. Everybody wants to hit a good target.
Oh, that's the only thing.
That's right. But so a guy walks in, he says, well, I just got here, put me on that, you know. And the guy says, look, I've got there 6 times and haven't hit this because there's nothing to hit. Now I got a chance to hit. How about letting me go? And who's going to win the argument? Yeah.
Well, you got to give them a shot at it.
Well, that's right.
We've been very successful here in taking pilots from SAC, ADC, Training Command, as long as they go through one of the tactical schools, and one of the 105 schools in Attack Air Command, back in the States, and receive roughly 70 hours in the 105. They do a good job here. Of course, we don't start them out as flight leaders. They start either in the number 2 or 4 position, and they set their own rate of progress.
Well, how'd it feel?
It's quite a flight.
Yeah, well, after not flying for a couple months, you all feel good. Ed, we talk about it a little bit.
Sure.
Did you understand what we were trying to do when he was doing the recce? How he was going back and forth on the road and
I was
standing inside?
That wasn't really what I was doing.
He was too close.
You said, oh, you mean when I was, when you were wrecking the road?
Yeah,
I was flying. I was trying to fly a wing.
Yeah.
Sort of like this one.
Yeah, well, he
was leading. No, you just press on. I'll stay away from you.
Yeah, there's no problem. But you see the position that you want. You don't want to get down like this because you're getting the flak. You stay up like this, and then when he disappears, just slide it, go high on him. Then when he reverses, take a look out. See, every time you look out, you look right down there and see your wingman. That's what you want to do.
When you go to the outside, you don't want to get too high because if he turns into you, that's what happened to me that one.
Yeah.
He turned into me and I was high and I got no place to go.
Don't get too high and don't get too low. When you get too low, if they shoot at him and you're lower, they'll probably hit you. But at the same time, if you get too high and he turns into you, just like Ed says, you get it blocked out.
I've told you how complicated the weapon system is, so that it only can be effectively operated and utilized against the enemy by 2 professionals. And our pilots are professional pilots. We do have a few youngsters out of the training school, but most of our pilots have been in the Air Force 10 to 12 years or longer. And in fact, we have some grandfathers here that are fighting this war.
The rendezvous at 1350.
We drop out here at 1810, right. Well, we'll have enough fuel after leaving that tank to make 3 full runaways. Let's look at this flag.
My best day was the 5th of July when I attacked and destroyed 4 SAM sites in one 25-minute mission. And this came about because in escorting the strike flights, 2 SAM sites came up on our way in. We had to attack these boys to turn them off the air to get into the target area. While in the target area, another SAM site came up, threatening the strike force, and of course we attacked and got him. And then on the way back out, another SAM site came up to block our exit out of the target area, which was about 15 or 20 miles north of Hanoi. And we only had 1 part of rockets and 20-millimeter cannon ammunition remaining. But he fired 2 SAMs at us, and we managed to acquire him visually and put the rockets on him and machine gun him out of commission. This was the best day I've had, and I don't care to go through another one of those. A little too much for an old man.
There ain't no way.
I've come up with one thing that, in my own mind, makes the Air Force a good organization. And was one of the reasons I stayed in it after I got into fighters. And that's the people that are in it. And I think this has been most vividly demonstrated to me over here. I don't think you can get more diversified type of an organization. People of diversified backgrounds. We have some old heads from Korea, some young heads from the academy, and we got the world's greatest B-52 fighter pilot over there, Bob Loken, and a few other people from SAC, ADC, and 12th Air Force headquarters, and things like that. And we made a pretty good organization. I think we kind of put the squadron, if we could tell it to the world, we put it on the map. And I'm very happy to have served with each and every one of you troops.
So if I can swing a deal to get down south with working 100s or F5s or A1s or, geez, I don't care, as long as it's close air support. If I can swing that, I'm going to just try to go, or maybe back to States TV-wide upgrade and down there. If not, I'll stick around and fly an 01 or an A1. It'll check you out right up north, you know.
You ever had thoughts that you might not make the 100?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I've been drawing pay for 16 years. This is my job. As of right now, I've got 3 children. I've got a 6-year-old boy and a 11-year-old girl and a 17-year-old girl. So, just watching kids grow up and so forth. I don't care if they're North Vietnamese kids or South or what have you. I have no desire to go bomb villages and kill women and children at all. I've been very careful not to do that sort of thing. I'm very careful. I think most of the pilots in the squadron are very careful where they put their bombs so that they don't accidentally hit women and children, this sort of thing. How do you feel? I think Bill's right. I don't know of anyone that's just going to go over and drop a bomb in a village because that's not doing anything for the war effort. We want to get the targets of military importance.
Well, it was on the 13th of September, we were flying a bombing mission in North Vietnam. We just discovered a bunch of missiles on transporters. Just finished dropping ordnance on them. We're looking for something to strafe and found a flak site. And we was getting started to make a pass. And I took a direct hit from either 37 or 57. Called I was hit, leaving the area. They didn't hear my radio transmission because number 4 man thought I was a missile. Called me out as a SAM. And then number 3 man said, no, that's 2, he's on fire. And I got about a minute and 10 or 20 seconds flying time out of the aircraft, got about 40 miles away from where I was hit. And I had a minor explosion, lost hydraulic pressure. The aircraft pitched down. And I ejected in an almost uncontrolled situation. About 525, 550 knots, 2 negative Gs. That's when I hurt my ankle. Caught my foot. Ejection process getting out. Everything else was uneventful after the chute opened. Down, landed in the trees. Got the radio out, talked back to the flight. And they said the rescue aircraft was on the way. It took him about 45 or 50 minutes to get to me and about 5 or 6 minutes to pick me up.
Well, that's again, you get up in the 90s and you got 10 to go and you say, well, I'm going home pretty soon, so I got to tell these guys something. So you go lay in bed at night and you think of things to tell them. And it runs, And wait a minute. Wait a minute, I ain't finished. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. This is my speech, and I don't need any help. Incidentally, I have a 3-hour speech prepared. Forget it. Something I'm damn proud to have, besides working with all you guys and with your names here. I don't really need this picture frame with you. With the name? I'm going to remember you guys. But I got to
No, I remember you. Because those are the guys you remember, the guys you fought with.
This has been the story of fighter-bomber pilots at Korat Air Base, Thailand. For the flyer, living the hell over Hanoi, facing up to the odds, there is the simple yet poignant phrase, there ain't no way, there ain't no way, there ain't no way. But there comes the day for most, when the job is done.
I won't even say to the rest of the guys, no, there's no way, because there is a way. Major D is scheduling there, boy. There's a way. Oh, boy, there is a